I hope that you all can hear me well this morning. I've got a slightly different microphone set up because, frankly, there's some. It's solid waste day here in downtown, and the garbage trucks kept driving by, so I'm trying a new microphone. So please make a comment if you can hear me loud and clear. I'm going to give some folks a few minutes to get on, but we have a brief update this morning. Um, there's not a whole lot of new stuff happening, but I do have some new information that I'd like to share with you all. And so if you are here and can hear me loud and clear, please let me know by making a comment in the comment section. If you can see me, you probably can't hear me asking you to make a comment, but let me know that. Well, you guys are pretty good about letting me know if you can't hear me. Sometimes that happens. So this we're in 7 days into March. It seems crazy, but spring break is starting next week. You can obviously always already see the spring break traffic. I think it's going to get worse next week. But March is Women's History Month. So tonight at our commission meeting, we'll be honoring a lady in Largo as our Women's History Month honoree, and that person, and this isn't going to be a surprise because it's public in the agenda already. So it is kind of public knowledge. But Sue Porter, who has been a longtime volunteer for the city of Largo, she does a lot of great work for the city of Largo. I think she's been on the Parks and Recreation Board for some 22 years. She was the chairperson of the Parks and Recreation Board when I first went on that board, at least 20 years ago. So she's been on that for a long time, and she also for a couple decades has been a VIP for our police department. The VIP is Volunteers in Policing, so they do a lot of volunteer work with all kinds of different things. Let me go back to comments. With all kinds of different things from special events to bad traffic accidents where they need help to divert traffic around and that type of stuff. They do house checks if you're on vacation or if you're away for spring break. You can contact our police department, and they will stop by and check on your house while you're away and make sure everything looks okay. I'm trying to get a second look on whether or not I've got some audio here. Good morning, Kara. Thank you. I'm using a new microphone, so I was a little concerned that folks couldn't hear me, but thank you for being here, and thank you for saying good morning on the comment section so I could see that it seems like everything might be working okay. So we are going to, she also is a community, Sue Porter's also a community ambassador. So she goes out at special events around the city and talks to folks about what's happening in Largo and also helps us get feedback from our citizens. So that's tonight. We're honoring Sue at our commission meeting for Women's History Month in March. Good morning, Jack. And Kim, good morning. We have 12 annexations. It's second reading of these 12 annexations, so we've seen them before. There's a couple commercial, but mostly residential annexations. All of them are voluntary annexations, so there are folks that came to the city and wanted to be in the city. If they're in our planning service boundaries and they want to, and they're contiguous with the city of Largo, and they want to become residents of Largo and be annexed in, they just have to fill out some paperwork and do that. And so that happens pretty regularly because those folks want to get the services that we provide to our residents. So we have 12 annexations tonight. We also are going to be talking about the sun just came out. Now I'm getting it. The Pinecrest Golf Course. You've probably seen that in the news a little bit. We're purchasing the former Pinecrest Golf Course for two purposes. One is to help with regional stormwater in that area, including the Medical Arts District, but also the neighborhoods just to the west and probably a little bit to the, well, at least up against the tracks to the east. But some regional stormwater support, as well as a passive park, a place that people can walk and enjoy. Probably not an probably not a, well, it won't be like an active park where there's a lot of programming, but it will be a passive park where there'll be some walking trails and that type of stuff. It hasn't yet been designed, but we've looked at a couple parks in some other cities, including I think it's called Cascades Park up in Tallahassee, which is a large stormwater facility with a beautiful park around that's really invigorated that area. So we'll be talking about using parkland impact fees for the purchase of that property, that's what parkland impact fees are for, is to buy parkland. So we'll talk a little bit about that tonight. We are also discussing, it's called Filling the Gaps Citywide Missing Middle and Affordable Housing Initiative. So we're hiring a consultant to look at, just because we don't have the time nor necessarily the expertise in-house, to look at our comprehensive development code, to suggest changes that might make it easier for people to have affordable housing, to develop affordable housing, to redevelop some of our non-standard lots in some areas of Largo, including the downtown and some of Southwest Largo. And we're looking at what is in the way of affordable and workforce housing in our city. I think I mentioned lot sizes and non-conforming lots. Lot size is a pretty frequent issue. Minimum lot sizes, as well as the lot size for like fee simple townhomes. Townhomes are a little bit tough to develop in Largo, so we're looking to bring those guidelines more in line with the surrounding communities and more in line in what we're trying to do, especially, I would say, for our activity centers. Let me see. Oh, lastly, we'll be talking about some legislative policies. We discussed this at a work session about requirements for membership. Oh, nice. Good morning, Matt. We've talked about requirements for service on advisory boards and advocacy boards. There are some boards that you have to be a resident of the city of Largo to participate in. There are some that you don't have to be a resident. For example, our Affordable Housing Advisory Board is an ad hoc committee. It stands for about 8 months, and you have to work in Largo or live in Largo, and it's very specific as far as the fields that you have to be in. Our CRAB, which is our Community Redevelopment Agency Advisory Board, you have to either live or work in the West Bay Drive district, because that's the funding source that those folks are kind of giving us some advice on how to spend. So we want people that are invested in that district to give us advice on that district, which I think makes perfect sense. So we'll be talking about the requirements for participation, and also removal criteria. Mostly, if they no longer fit the qualifications, there was just nothing set on how to remove somebody, and most of that would just be if somebody moves away. For example, they move out of the city, they would just automatically fall off of that board, and then the commissioner or myself, who appointed them, would have an opportunity to appoint somebody new. So we'll talk about that a little bit tonight, and those are the big items on the meeting tonight. There's some other news. Henry, I'm sure you've probably seen that. Our city manager, Henry Schubert, is retiring after, I think it's 42, well, yeah, it's going on 43 years. He started in 1980. So I'm not sure if you guys want to comment what you were doing in 1980, but that was a long time ago. So Henry's been in a whole bunch of different roles at the city. He's been city manager for 7 years. I've said this a couple times, so this isn't a big surprise. but I was concerned when we hired Henry as city manager because he had been here so long, and my vision was there were some things that needed to change, both in process and some things that needed to change, and I was afraid that he would be hesitant to change and progress, and I've been delighted to see quite the opposite. We've made a lot of changes here in the city, both internally and forward-facing in the last 7 years. So his last day is June 30th. We are hiring a recruitment organization to do the process of narrowing down our selection. So we expect that we'll get a lot of people that are interested in this position, and they'll bring us the top. We haven't settled on the exact number, but the top several, and then we will bring some in because it's the decision of the city commission to hire and fire our city manager, or fire the city manager. So it is our decision. The finalists will sit in front of us for interviews, and we're working on that process now. But it's June 30th is his last day, and we hope to have somebody selected and on board a little bit before that. So we're moving along. The RFP for those recruitment firms is out on the street. I think it ends in the next day or two, so that process will happen quickly, to hire a recruitment firm to start getting good candidates. Let me see. Some other fun things that are going on. The Zoppi Italian Family Circus will be starting on the 9th, so in 2 days, in Largo Central Park. It's actually in that big green space where the former library was, and it's going to be a small Italian family circus. I hear really great things about it. It's a pretty small venue. There's only 500 people in it at any given show, so you're really close to the action. But that's the 19th through the 9th through the 17th. This Saturday, the Shamrock and Run is going to run right by here a couple times. The Shamrock and Run's at Ulmer Park. It's on a Saturday this year, so if you were planning on it for Friday, it's a little bit different this year because it's on Saturday, and it's a little bit earlier. So we moved it to Saturday so that we could have it just a little bit earlier. It's still an evening 5K, so it's still going to be some live music in the park after, and a fun 5K in downtown. That's this Saturday, the Shamrock and Run. You can go online still and register. You can register on site. I think the on-site registration opens at like 3:30 or 4 o'clock. But go to the city's website for more information. Speaking of city's website, the website's been very active recently with summer camp registrations. I think most of our full day camps are full, but certainly if you're interested, check them. But I'm meaning like what are the ongoing camps through the summer. I think most of those are full. There's a lot of specialty camps that still have some openings. So if you're interested in volleyball or nature camp, specific camps like that still have some openings. So you can find that information out on our website. I think you can sign up on the website as well. Shamrock and Run. I was supposed to mention that the event is at Ulmer Park in downtown. And all the festivities are open for non-runners too. So if you're not running the 5K, you can still go down and listen to live music, get yourself a little bit of food and a beverage or whatever. But it'll be a nice event at Ulmer Park. Let me see just two more projects that are starting shortly. We've got some project, a parking lot renovation that's happening out at Belcher Soccer Complex. So you'll see some intermittent closures of that parking lot. And while the soccer's going on, we'll be shuffling people around a little bit while we're redoing that parking lot at the Belcher Soccer Complex. At almost the same time, we'll be working on McGow down at the Turtle Park or the Narrows Nature Center. The parking lot there, we'll be redoing that as well. So similarly, there'll be there'll be a couple closures kind of scheduled around the slow times at the park, hopefully, and we're going to make those parking lots nice and fresh. So that's what I had on my list. I did want to mention some people have asked me about Starkey Road. You've probably seen they're putting a sidewalk along the east side of Starkey from Almerton all the way down to Bay Drive, which is great. We've been asking for that for years. Starkey is a county road, which means that that's a county project. They've been talking about repaving and putting a sidewalk along Starkey for a long time. I mean, I think it was before I was a city commissioner. So it was tabled for a long time at the county level, and it's nice that that's actually happening now. One of the reasons that they're putting a sidewalk that's there's our fire department. See, I've got my my Largo Fire Department mug this morning. One of the reasons that the sidewalk is separate from the roadway is because a long time ago, before I was a commissioner, the city saw this project coming and made us a roadway standard for that type of road in our city. So it kind of holds the county as they come through our city to our standard, which is a divided sidewalk from roadways that are that big. So we didn't want the sidewalk right up against the traffic lane on a road where cars go 45 miles an hour. I know there's a lot of concern about crossing from the east to the west or the west to the east, and we're working on the county understanding that one crossing between Almerton and East Bay Drive is not enough for pedestrians. So we're working on that. I hope that there'll be something done where, is it Paradise Island, I think Mobile Home Park entrance is, near a Cropple restaurant. That would be a good spot for a protected crossing for residents and people that want to go over to Cropple and have some Greek breakfast. But that's all that I had today. I don't see any questions in the comments. I thank you all for being here, whether you're watching it live right now or a little bit later. If you guys have any questions, feel free to make a comment and I will answer them as best I can. If I don't know the answer, I'll find it out for you. I hope that you all have a wonderful week. Hope we get some rain soon. This pollen's been a little nutty out here, but we need the pollen to clear out and the red tide to clear out. So maybe some rain will help with some of that. But you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.
Oh, hi, welcome. We're here at Largo Public Library's new Butterfly Garden, talking about some of the great things Largo has been up to lately.
It's truly been amazing because Largo has made so many investments in our strategic commitments to sustainability, public health and safety, and community pride.
Meredy, can we learn more about what has been Largo's commitment to the environment and sustainability?
Absolutely. This past year, Largo's wastewater reclamation facility finished up projects that improve the quality of water leaving the facility so that it's more friendly to the environment. They also started using solar energy. Let's hear from Shelby with our environmental services team to tell us more about how Largo is going with the flow.
We call it the mid-plant project because it has rehabilitated the entire middle of our plant, which is the nutrient removal process. So we're able to take more nitrogen out of the water that comes through. And nitrogen can cause issues within Tampa Bay, so we're actually helping our residents and the visitors to Tampa Bay by making sure we're improving the water that goes to Tampa Bay as a discharge. So we were able to install a 15 kilowatt solar array with 33 panels. It's installed near our warehouse. We would like to provide it on the new operations building, and we would like to talk to some solar companies about the best places to provide it around the treatment plant.
Thanks, Shelby. In support of our Sustainability and Resilience Action Plan, Largo has also partnered with several members of the community who we call Community Connectors. The connectors are helping us develop and implement citywide sustainability and resilience strategies.
In addition to this great work, Largo is investing in organizational excellence by supporting the team members that work every day to deliver the superior services that drive our collective resilience.
Well, we are so excited as the City of Largo to have been selected as a national top workplace for the second year in a row. We have really understood and come to know and value as an organization a flexible workplace. It not only augments and helps us be more efficient and effective work-wise, it really helps team members address work-life balance. Next, we implemented a new holiday, which is Veterans Day, and it really gives us an opportunity to make a statement to the community that we value our veterans while we really appreciate those that have served in the military. We are so fortunate to be supporting families and offering 4 weeks of parental leave.
Another exciting way that Largo is investing in team members is mental health support programs for our public safety team. Largo's vision is to be the community of choice, not just for those who live and play here, but for those who work here too.
Speaking of public health and safety, the Largo Police Department is moving forward right now with a countywide shared data system called PRIME that will improve response to 911 calls, as well as implementing body-worn cameras for our police officers. This past year, they also ordered a new mobile command vehicle and built a K-9 training facility, all of which will keep our law enforcement on the leading edge. Public health and safety also includes making Largo safer for pedestrians, cyclists, and motorists. And if you use the Pinellas Trail in downtown Largo, you might notice a few exciting improvements.
And so the focus of this project was to develop multimodal components that connect the community, the bicyclists, the pedestrians, and leisure recreational usage to the community, not only our downtown, but the neighborhoods, as well as our medical arts district. As Pinellas County continues to build out, we have less options to expand the roadways. So we want to provide an alternate mode of transportation. So the term multimodal is exactly that. We want to make sure that corridor can provide vehicle access, pedestrian access, bicycle safety, as well as public transportation. And so this project kind of brings it all together. Allows them to get on and off safely, have amenities throughout here, benches, water fountains, bike racks, shade, refuge, resting.
Wow, that trailhead is absolutely beautiful and really is a fantastic addition to downtown Largo.
It also contributes to community pride, where several significant investments have been made, including this beautiful garden we're sitting in today, as well as something big that's on the horizon in downtown.
The Horizon Complex really consists of 2 buildings. There's the office building and parking garage. And in between the office building and parking garage, there is a breezeway, so it's kind of a congregation space. The most exciting feature really is the first floor of the entire complex because there's retail on the first floor. There's public meeting space inside the office building on the first floor, and then there is that breezeway. So really, that whole first floor is something for everybody in Largo.
The future of downtown Largo definitely looks bright.
It certainly does. And there's so much more we could talk about, but for the sake of time, let's just say we can look forward to so many more accomplishments as we finish the projects funded with our $12.9 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds.
Wow, Meredy, that is so exciting. Thank you so much for chatting with me today about all of the great things this past year has brought to Largo.
Absolutely.
And we're so glad you joined us today. Please participate in Largo's budget process, check out cool interactive budgeting tools, and stay connected to what Largo's doing for you in 2023 by visiting largo.com/budget today. See you next time.